Hello everybody, my name is Sherry Lahane and this video tutorial will show you how to use video conferencing tools such as Google Meet, Uber Conference, Zoom, or Skype. I'm going to show you how to use these conferencing tools as a participant if someone were to invite you to a video conference or a meeting, but also as a host or organizer. The video conferencing tools all have pretty much the same features and they work the same ways. I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of tools today in a screen share. But if your students are most familiar with one such as Skype, I would use that one. The free versions of the ones that I've mentioned, Skype, Uber Conference, Google Meet, Zoom, and there are others, have limitations on the number of participants that you can invite and the length of each meeting. They all have versions for our applications for mobile phones for both Android and iPhone systems. I'm going to start with Uber Conference because it's the one that I've used for many years and I'm most familiar with. You're going to start by opening a web browser. So if you can see my screen at the very top, I would open a new tab and I would type in www.uberconference.com. And I'm already have an account, so I would come into a screen like this. You would come into a screen that asks you to log in or create an account. We are in my account right now, and I'm going to be showing you four main features: how to start a conference, how to invite others, how to control the microphone and camera, and how to share your screen. So once you're into an account, this is Uber Conference. I could just click right here where it says, Start New Conference, and I would end up in my room. Now let's look and see what happens when we're in my room. You can see that up in the top it says Uber Conference /room/slahane. I'm going to go out of that for a moment. I'm going to go back to this. Now let's imagine that someone else has sent me an invitation. I can say join another conference, and whatever their name is, I would just put here like S. Lahane because that's my name. Theirs would have the URL of their name. But generally, you'll be sharing a link with them. Now, many of the conferences that I have, I schedule for later. So I'm going to click right here where it says schedule for later, and I can choose a date with the calendar. I can decide if it's going to be recurring or not, choose the time zone, the duration. Now I want to tell you that this defaults to 45 minutes. This is a new feature that Uber Conference for the free version limits it to 45 minutes. And I just noticed this, quite honestly, because I usually schedule longer conferences than 45 minutes and I've never been booted out. And if I want to give this conference a name, I do so. And you can see that I have quite a few names that I've had in the past. Once I do that, I click Next. And up here, I can enter email addresses, and they will be sent an invitation directly from Uber Conference. However, if you don't have the email addresses handy, I'm going to go down to my login up here. And when I hover over the picture on my name in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, you can see that I have some join information. It says S. Lahane, the telephone number, and the PIN. I can just click copy information, and if I go, for example, I'll go into my Gmail account, and if I go into my calendar, and let's just imagine that I have something set up for tomorrow, March 17th, which I do. I'll just click distance and more options. And I'm going to click in the box at the bottom where I can add description. And I'm just going to do Control V, and my information is there. Now you don't want to put it up here in the add location because it's looking for you on Google Maps. If you are doing this by phone, you can just right click or go into your menu and share it. Or if you're doing it by email, you can just do Control V and share it there. Share it in the bottom in the email message. And I could do this and hyperlink it. So you can see when someone opens it up, they just have to click on this link and go right into the conference. The dial-in number is for anyone who's not joining by video. They're calling in instead, and when they do call in, they will be prompted to enter this PIN number. So let me go back and say that when you join a video conference, people can call in and they would not see the screen unless they're using a mobile app, but they'll hear you. Or they can join on their computer, and if they join on their computer, if by chance they don't have a webcam, you don't have to see them, that's okay, but they will be able to see your screen. Now I'm going to imagine that I'm going to start a new conference right now, and I've invited others. I'm going to go down here, and over here to the left-hand side, you can see that there's a default microphone and default speakers, and you can test those to make sure they're working. I'm going to imagine that I'm going in to the conference. I can join the conference here. I can also join by phone. I'm on my computer, so I'm going to be joining by desktop. Once I'm in Join Conference, you can see
This
that
free conference call is
I've
provided by
appeared
Uber
here.
Conference. You are the first participant on this Uber conference. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Now, this Uber Conference has music that comes on that's kind of pleasant. You can stop and hold it. But what I want to show you is down at the bottom here. I can enable my camera. I can stop it or start it. So when it's not enabled, someone just sees my profile picture. And you might want to ask people if it's noisy in their homes to mute their microphone. If they mute their microphone, you just click on that. And then when they're ready to talk, they click on it again. As you can see, when my camera is turned off, it turns red with a little line through it. The same will happen with the microphone. When I want to see the participants who are in here, I can click on participants. I'll see their names here, but I'll also see them shown up just like my name is here as the organizer. I would see them here as well. There's a chat feature. You can see chat. You can just start typing down here in the chat and have a conversation here. You can also record the video, and when I click on this where it says hello, oops, maybe that's not it. I'm gonna have to look at it. Oh, here it is. At the top of the eye, at the top of the screen on the left-hand side where it says meeting information, I again see all of the information. I can invite others. If I had given it a name, I would see it. I can see the duration of the call so far, and right here I can turn this on and
This
start
call is
recording
being
the call.
recorded.
I
Call
always
recording off.
ask permission before I record a call. Now with Uber Conference, with the free version, you don't have a record of the chat. Actually, you used to, but you don't now. Once people are on, I can also click on layout, and I can choose the way that I want it to lay out. I can decide if I want to have full screen or if I want to see the little thumbnails of different people. I don't have anyone else in this call, so it's a little bit difficult to show you that. But I also want to show you that I have some other, oops, oh, here to organizer control. I also can decide on my end to mute everybody. If I don't want anyone else to join, I can click on lock conference, and here's another place where I can record the call on or off. The last thing that I want to show you is how to share a screen. Now I'm going to go into a document. It happens to be in my Google Drive, but it could be a Microsoft Word document as well. It's a distance learning document that I recently posted, and imagine that I want to share this with the group. I'm going to go back to my Uber conference, and when I hover on this icon on the left-hand side that says share your screen, I'm going to click on it, and it's going to ask me, do I want to share my entire screen or my application window You can choose either one of those. I usually choose my entire screen. I click on it and I say share, and then from there I have to click on what I want to share. I'm going to go and click on the tab, which in this case is Distance Learning Resources, and you can see that I'm sharing that screen. Now when you're in the Uber conference, you don't see what you're sharing. So usually I check with people and say, can you see my, whatever the name of my document is? And when I want to stop sharing, I click over here and I say stop sharing. And your participants will have all these same icons, and they can also share their screen. So you can ask one of your students to share their screen as well. So that's about what you need to know. And when you're finished with the call, you just say hang up. And it says, are you sure? And you say yes. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to show you what that looks like with a Google Meet. And I'm going to show you the quick way. So if you have a Gmail account, you can do it this way. If you don't worry about it. You don't need it. And the reason that I'm showing you Google Meet is because, and Uber Conference, is because students don't need to all have, say, a Gmail account or Microsoft Office account. They can have any account. Now let's imagine that I have something happening tomorrow, I'll just say at whatever, at 9:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock. And when I say here, over here it says add conferencing, watch what happens when I click on that. It says Hangouts Meet. And automatically the information is there. Now I can invite people by going here and entering their email address. If you're using Gmail, others that are in your contacts will come up automatically. If not, you'll have to type them or copy and paste them in. But once they receive the information and they click on it, they automatically have all the information they need to join, and all they have to do is click on it. And when you say save, let me just I'll invite myself with my RI Adult Ed account. So the meeting information is there, and when I say save, it says, do you want to send them an invite? You say yes. And when they send an invite, when they receive their invite, they'll get all of this information, and all they have to do is click on Join Hangouts Meet. So let's take a quick look at that. If you're happy with Uber Conference and you don't want to go any further, that's just fine. Okay, so here I am in Google Meet, and you can see it pretty much works the same. In Google Meet, you can invite up to 100 participants, which is why I chose to share this with you. And all you need is the email address. So you have to send them the invitation, and you can do that by creating, going into meet.google.com and create an account. And you do need to, as an organizer, have a Gmail account, but as a participant, you don't. Once you do that, you can join the meeting. You can get the URL to send to them. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So I can say add people, and I can find an email name and do that. I can also call them. You'll see that we have the same chat feature here. You go down to the bottom and say hello. You can say the chat is there. And here, is where it says present now is the same as share screen. When I click on that, I can share my entire screen or window, and it works the same way. If I say entire screen, I'll see that. I can say share, click on the tab that I want to share, and I'm in. And here I can see it says stop sharing. If I stop sharing, then I'm out. The neat thing about Google Meet is also that I can turn on captions. And that means that, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, this is like closed captioning, and it's ADA compliant for any person that has a hearing impairment, they can just read the text, which is a great feature. And lastly, on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, there's 3 little dots. These are where some other settings are. I'm going to click on Change Layout. It can automatically decide the best layout, or I can choose this one. I would see all of the other participants in a little thumbnails over to the right-hand side. Spotlight, only 2, etc. Tiled, sorry, etc. There's some other settings here. Use a phone for audio. You can switch camera so that it's full screen or not. And switch it to so that this is just my profile picture. You can have yourself on camera or not. And that's about it. So once again, I'm going to go out of this for a minute, and I'm going to go on, click on a new tab, and you can just do a search in your web browser. But I'm going to type in meet.google.com, and you can see that I am directly in Google Meet. I can start a meeting. I can give it a name. I'll just say distance. And I'm in. Okay, I can say join now. I can present. So I can copy the information and send it to someone. So these are the different ways that you can enter Google Meet. You can do it from a calendar, put on an invite. You can just go into meet.google.com. You can invite people once again. You can call someone. You'll see that I have the same things. Up here I'll see the participants. I can open up the chat. And at the bottom I have the same things. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out.